So right here is a fun idea for using task cards. I know a lot of teachers have task cards laying around, and sometimes you don't know how to kind of make them a little bit more engaging or shake it up. A lot of times I see students just kind of walking around the room answering those different task cards, and then there's not a whole lot of collaboration, or maybe they are doing it with a partner. But these ideas have been adapted kind of by EB Teacher. They have this really good blog post here about using task cards to kind of promote um, collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and taking again those basic task cards and kind of upping up the engagement level and sometimes the rigor level. And so, again, here are the different types. And what you're going to do is you're going to go and you can just click on the icon and it will take you exactly to that slide. So the first one is a silent debate. What students are going to do is they are going to answer the task cards, and you as the teacher, you're going to have your task cards already printed and pasted on like big butcher paper, and you're just going to have them around the room. And so again, students are up, moving, they're walking around. There's no talking. They are answering those questions. All they need is a pencil, and they're going to go around and answer those questions. Once they answer the question, they're also going to add their name. And then they have to respond to two other classmates and add their names to those comments. And then they would go to the next butcher paper that's around the room and answer that task card. This, I would say, would take 30 minutes. So on slide number 8, there are some timers here. And so I would just grab this 30-minute timer, start it. Students have 30 minutes to answer as many task cards as they can, or as many as you have in there. And then if they finish early, they can go back and see what classmates said about their responses, or they can continue to comment on other students' responses. So again, just kind of adding that collaborative, but also in a silent debate type of way. Pass it back. This one is kind of a fun game. So students are going to be in groups of 3 to 4, and every single student is going to have a different task card. So on slide number 4, I made like this blank template. You can type your questions here, or you could tape the task card on here or staple it or whatever, or have your own setup. And I would put this on a clipboard. And every spot has a place for every single student in that group to answer. And so what students are going to do is they are going to have their clipboard in their task card, just like this, and they're going to answer their question in their spot. Okay, so they're going to take their area and they're going to answer it if I was student 1 in student 1 spot on all of the different task cards. Again, there's going to be about 5 of these. And once the students answer, the timer is going to be set for 5 minutes. Once it's over, they're going to pass it back. Students are aligned in a train, so they're looking at other students' head and they're sitting in that straight line. So again, they're going to have 5 minutes to answer. When the timer's up, they're going to pass that back to the student behind them. If the student is in the back of the train, they're going to go up to the front and give it to that student. Now, on the next round, I would add an extra 1 or 2 minutes, depending on what the task card is. And that will just give time for the students to read the other students' responses. So if I'm student 1 and I just got student 5's clipboard, I'm going to read their response first and add a comment or some type of agreement or something like that. And then I'm going to answer it in my own box. Okay, so again, looking over what did they say? What can I add on? Is there any evidence that I can add? Anything additional that I can add? Or did they make a mistake and I need to kind of maybe debate with them about that? So again, that's going to go on for every single round, and you're going to add additional time because they're going to have to read 2 boxes, then 3 boxes, then 4 boxes until this gets back to the original person. Once it gets back to the original person or back to the start, students are then going to read through their comments that other classmates have asked and answer anything that they responded. And then I would set like another timer for each group to debrief and maybe present their findings to the class on their questions. So again, you'll need about 5 different task cards for this one, and you could have the 5 be the same for each group, or you can have them be different. It doesn't really matter what you kind of decide. This next one is get artistic. So students will again work in groups of 3 to 4 students. They're going to have a task card, and then they have to make a visual for that task card that answers the question. So they're going to draw out whatever their answer might be, and then they have to present their drawing to the class. So again, I would give them a task card. They have to draw it out and explain it through drawings and using different colors or like a sketch note, and then they're going to have to share that with the class. This one with the Socratic Seminar, students are going to just answer their task cards through a discussion. So you would kind of have them be able to make different connections with each other's comments, be challenged with each other, and use critical thinking. And then the last one is a clue game. I've used this one often with a lot of my teachers. Down here is a how-to video. It goes through how to create a clue game, very detailed step by step. And then down here is information if you need resources to create your own. But what students are going to do is they're going to solve the clues. The clues are your task cards. And then they're going to answer their responses on the evidence form and the Google form. And they're trying to figure out who stole the candy or who hacked the device. And once students do that, they'll submit a form to find out if they were correct or incorrect. So again, just kind of gamifying your task cards. And down here are just timers that match. Feel free to use them. But again, just some really fun ways to upgrade your task cards.